All right, people, it's Black Friday. It's a little different this year because we kind of started it early, which I didn't like it, but it's actually a much smarter way to do it in that we spread things out. So if you're here now and you haven't bought anything yet, we still have tons of stuff and we'll continue to have tons of stuff. And so I don't think you need to worry about that. But I wanted to go through on the OG channel because I went live on Tuesday when we launched the sale. Just sort of hanging out with you, talking about some of the different things like the 1122, talking about bucket package and built hamber and some of the stuff that I think you might want to consider buying this year. And then in a few hours this afternoon, I'm going to do a wash and talk. Hey Nick, what I think we should do is while I'm washing, you're going to build a cart, and then at the end we'll take like a screen. We'll hold the cart in front of the camera, and then just email Nick@obsessedgarage.com. You can just email a screenshot of that cart. Because I was just thinking about this when I was doing the wash. I'm like, what do I actually use during a wash? Like, what are the essentials? What are the things you need? So I'm going to wash Mike's 4Runner because all my cars are clean. And then at the end of the wash, we'll have a list of all the different things that you would want. That'd be like a cool gift. Like if you wanted to give a list to like somebody to get you, like the Ego 880, the Viper chair, like a whole package of like what are the things that you would want in a full wash.
Detailing cart.
Yeah, like this is what I use every single time I wash, and so I'm gonna do that. So anyway, that's coming. When are we doing that? This evening? 2
to 4.
2 to 4, okay. And then tonight, what are we doing tonight?
We're doing Obsessed Home Theater from 6 to 8 p.m.
Okay.
Man's going to join us. We'll be in the home theater room.
Nice. Yeah, so we'll be doing the home theater stuff for those of you guys who are into that kind of stuff. Make sure you go check that out. Make sure you're subscribed to Obsessed Home Theater and then Youth Man channels. And then also, if you're not subscribed to the Matt Mormon channel, go there because the Wash and Talk will be on Matt Mormon. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it'll be on the Matt Mormon channel is where this Wash and Talk is happening. So we're, we don't want to nuke the OG channel by doing too many lives on it, and so that's why we're kind of bouncing back and forth. So we have a live today, and I think a live Monday on the OG channel. The other OG channel here we'll be doing is design heavy. So we're going to be back in my sort of half done studio, showing you all the things you might want to get. So anyway, do yourself a favor. I'm going to kind of walk through this. If you go through and you click on the Black Friday tab that's flashing red on the top, top banner of the OG page. And if you're interested in all the doorbusters, tchotchke junk, amazing things that you should buy, you can go watch the live from Tuesday. It's on the Matt Mormon channel where I go through all the story of the shirts and the hats. And so actually this is one of the hats that we'll be, we're getting rid of. Not because it's not great, it's just we have too much inventory. And so part of 2026 for me is a narrow and focus. And so we're going to narrow in and focus on specifically what I can provide the most value in. And so like for instance, that washing system or the way I wash a car, we kind of gets lost, or the 1122 here that I'm using as my desk for my computer. It kind of gets lost in the weeds of too much stuff. And so what we're doing on the OG web page on obsessedgarage.com is really narrowing it down to get rid of having too much. It gets really difficult when you start retailing because I have this tendency to you want to capture it all, and that's not the ethos. That's not the mission. The mission is to curate products, and then we may have a good, better, best, what we call basic, advanced, ultimate. Like I had 57 different iterations of audio packages for the garage because I just couldn't decide. I wanted it all. And then we find that we're always out of stock of things and we're not talking about it as much as we should because there's 57 different versions. So it's narrowed that down to 4 choices, just makes it much, much simpler for you to navigate because that's what I want. I want a site. I'm not trying to be everything to everybody. I want to make sure that the site is something to someone, I guess you could say. And so all the quote unquote I hate this, doorbusters, that's Nick's word, Nick likes that word, is at the top of the page. Hats, shirts, key tags, press all bottles. By the way, I did have somebody email me. So we have a bunch of the blue, and this sucks, we're going to run out of them now. A bunch of the blue household sprayer. The blue household sprayer actually works. He's been using it for like 6 months with traceless. So what I would suggest you do is buy that blue household sprayer that's on the site, and then you would change the tip to buy a metal tip, and then I'm going to put that, and it'll be like a little unicorn in my bottle array. You know what I'm saying, Nick? That's going to be the way to go, because then you should. Oh, we have a guest speaker coming in here.
Do you want to let him in?
Yeah, we can let him in. Rex is here. We're just doing a live, Rex. No big deal.
Or say hey. Yeah.
Rex is here.
How's everyone doing?
What are you
outside,
What are you doing here today?
Not much.
Yeah.
Look around.
Yeah, trying to get people to buy some stuff, you know.
Awesome.
So anyway,
Everything, guys, it's Black Friday.
doorbusters on top. So the structure of the way we set up the because I don't do frickin' sales. Every year I get suckered into doing this, and it becomes like 30% of our yearly sales is on like 4 days during Black Friday. But if you're just a person off the street, just want to be a Hex Plus member, if you're not familiar, I came up with Hex Plus. I'm getting emails all the time. I'm in the military. I'm a teacher. I'm an ambulance, whatever, operator, whatever you call it, an EMT. I'm a senior citizen. I mean, there's like an infinite amount of claims, and I just wanted to keep it the same for everybody. There's nothing more I hate than when you're buying something and you know that when you buy it, you're like not getting as good a deal as your neighbor. So I just wanted to keep it simple, keep it flat. And so in order to kind of just send people to a place, I came up with the idea of, well, why don't I create inside the Hex? And I could make specific vlogs and business content. And so actually I'm shooting a vlog today. I started shooting on my iPhone because the iPhone's better than my freaking Canon that I carry, a giant heavy Canon I carry around. And so like I vlog like day in the life stuff. So if you don't care about that, you probably wouldn't care. But if you want the vlog style, me sharing, what cold plunge I'm getting and what products I'm thinking about and how much we're selling and all of that, there's videos. But also the concept was get people to help fund the shipping cost. And so it's, $300 for the year, and you get 10% off. So you get 10% off and free shipping over, was it $50 or something like that?
Yeah, $50 is the everyday.
Yeah. And so we sort of created that so that I could just send everybody here. Hey, if you want a discount, go become, there's a barrier to entry. You have to be committed. You have to be buying stuff. And we have like 1,200 Hex Plus members or something like that, and then we have another 1,200 or so regular Hex members, and so that system's worked pretty well. And we generally lose quite a bit of money on the shipping part for our Hex members, but the revenue helps to offset it to some extent. And so if you want to go become a Hex Plus member, I don't have the crazy margins that you would have if you went narrow and deep on 1 or 2 or 3 brands. Because I'm buying like one product from 300 different brands, the average margin is like something like 35% or something like that. And so if you were to, like for Black Friday, when I take 15% off, now we're down to, say 20% margin, and then you ship it for free, it generally costs another 10% or so between shipping, credit card fees, Shopify fees, all that kind of stuff. It ends up netting like, a 10% profit margin during Black Friday. But it's a volume play, right? So we're going after the volume of hopefully selling lots of stuff. But the reason why you don't see crazy 25, 30, 40% off is I don't have that much profitability to start with. And it doesn't make sense to work for free. and so, or work for at a negative. Working for free can be okay if you're just trying to generate some cash, but the working at a negative can put you out of business. So all the doorbuster stuff, generally what we're doing is selling at cost plus 10, in a hope to eliminate some of our excess shirts and stuff like that. So anyway, the concept of Black Friday, I really liked that whole process of the game of it. And so now it's kind of become a thing that we do every year. So anyway, if you're on the Black Friday page, you can go become a member. And if you're going to buy a bunch of stuff, might pay for your membership. And it's a rolling 12 months. So if you buy it today, it'll roll till this time next year as well. So theoretically, Nick, you could actually take advantage of 2 Black Fridays with 1 Hex Plus purchase. Right.
You totally could, especially since we opened it a little bit earlier. So if you bought it last Monday, then you would certainly get. Yeah.
So anyway, just something to consider. Another sort of housekeeping note. A lot of stuff is going to show sold out. Like we're going to sell out of a lot of stuff. Like if you want an AR630, we sold out of those before Black Friday even started. And so we have reserve your spot. And the concept of reserve your spot is buy it. And we just take people in chronological order when you buy it. And as soon as it comes, I'm telling you, once we catch up from Black Friday, we're shipping like within the hour generally, right? If we have it sitting on the shelf or it's coming in, my mom and the team, Ted back there, they get the stuff out like within hours. And so when the 630s come, we probably have 2 batches to fulfill all that we're going to sell. Same thing with 1322s. For whatever reason, pressure washers are just, as usual, are in short supply. We do have 1122s. We have a bunch of those. We'll talk about that here today. But don't be afraid of reserve your spot. What Nathan and the tech support team is going to do is, let's say a week after Black Friday settles, we know what stock looks like because we're doing a lot of just-in-time purchases, right? So Mark and Jason and the purchasing team and Drew, they're keeping an eye on what they need to order. So they're kind of ordering just in time as we run out of stuff. And so if for some reason there's something that isn't going to come in time for Christmas and it was a gift that you were planning, you'll know. And so we're going to try to get everybody an update. Here's where we're at. In the years past, we were drinking from a fire hose trying to figure this out. We're quite a bit more prepared than we've ever been. And so I appreciate all your patience. But some people that are new customers don't know how this game is played. We're just, this is a grassroots thing where we're, figuring it out, and we always sell more than we can handle. And that's the goal, I think, in any business is to then, figure out how to do it. It's really difficult to staff for one day. Especially as complex as the stuff that we're selling. It's really complex stuff. We're the only ones in the world for some of this stuff that kind of has the information that you need to make this sort of the decision. So don't be afraid to reserve your spot. And if you need some help, just shoot an email to design@obsessedgarage.com. There's 6 of them sitting in a room right now ready to help. So design@obsessedgarage.com. If you need help designing your SwitchTracks flooring, you need help designing a custom install, you want to do your whole garage, even if it's something you want to design a set of tools or something like that, or you're just having a difficult time, hit them up by email and then they'll call you on the phone if they have to, whatever works for you. So shoot those guys an email. You can also shoot the tech support team an email, support@obsessedgarage.com. Nick, do we know, are they up to date? Are they keeping, I think Tim and Nathan and team are up to date with what's, with questions.
When they came in this morning, they were at like 160 emails, but they blitzed through them so fast. So we're working like 12 days, 12-hour days. So they'll be pretty much real-time response for most things.
Good. Okay. All right, so let's start digging in. It's enough housekeeping. Let's start digging into products and start talking about some of the things I would recommend you consider. You could mark, just share. What you can do on YouTube is you can share from a certain time stamp point. So if you want to, most of your significant others, people who are buying for you aren't going to watch this, right? Because this is going to be an hour and a half long, and I go on and on about stuff. And so one of the smart things to do would be if you click share, then you can click the little checkbox and choose the time stamp you want to send to somebody. And so let's say you want an 1122 and you want somebody to buy it for you, just, you can send them, share that timestamp, or maybe just share the link to the product. But where I'm at on the website, you can also share them a link. So again, I clicked on Black Friday. I scrolled down past the doorbusters, past the explanation of what the deal is, past the Hex Plus. And then if you look at these, top deals, I'm going to kind of talk you through some of these things here, talk you through what the, what the sales are and what the, what options you might want to consider. These are the things that the products team had suggested. These are the things we sell most often. The number one thing we sell every year is Swiss Tracks. So Swiss Tracks is 20% off for everybody. And there's no kicker, unfortunately, for Hex members, but it's 20% off, ships for free, and that'll run all the way through Cyber Monday. So we're matching the Swiss Tracks deal. So that's always the biggest thing that people buy the most often, because you can save a ton of money. And Swiss Tracks is really good about. They have a lot of stock and they ship fast. And our team, we have a software that connects there's an API that comes right from Shopify to Dual Plane. It sends it right out to the Swiss Tracks team, and they're just constantly processing orders. This time of year, it usually takes them 2 or 3 days, 4 days to process it, and then they're shipping from multiple shipping locations in the country. So usually your Swiss Tracks shows up in a week or so, from when you ordered it. So Swiss Tracks is always a top deal. Well, let's talk about this guy. This is the 1122. I've always said I would love to see people's faces, especially in the beginning when no one knew this thing was a thing, when they got it on their front doorstep and tried to lift it up, or your wife or your kid, goes out there and sees a box on the front porch and they try to lift it up and bring it inside. I always wondered, wanted to see some Ring doorbell cam footage of people's face, or hear the obscenities that they let out when they try to pick this thing up. But the 1122, I think, is still the best portable pressure washer in existence for washing a car. And so the 1122 has the same exact pump. There's a slightly different electrical winding, so the motor winding in the electric motor of the 1322 is slightly different. The wobble plate is slightly different, but they're both rated at the same thing, 2.1 gallons per minute. In the real world, they put out about 1.9, depending on, if you get a factory freak or not, but somewhere between 1.8 and 2.05 gallons a minute. They operate at around 70 decibels, so it's super quiet. And if you don't have the wherewithal, you don't want to, let's say you're renting a house, you don't want to put the thing on the wall. You want to be able to carry it around and go clean your back porch with it. The 1122, I think, is the best pressure washer in existence for that sort of hybrid role. And so it's portable. I would highly, highly recommend, let me have the gun. I would highly recommend you choose the ultimate version. And so on the 1122, you're not going to want to mess with the hose. The hose that comes with it is decent. It's just shy of 50 feet. It's something like, was it 15 meters or something like that? So it's like 49 and change feet. As long as you don't run the hose over with your car, that's the only time people mess it up. And you don't want to mess up the hose. The hose is like $200 to replace. It's not cheap. And so as long as you don't run it over, you're going to be in good shape. And my hose on my original one lasted a darn decade. And you change the oil at 50 hours, but I mean, if you guys have been around a long time, you know that my original 1120, I didn't change it for 8 years, and it was fine. And even when I did change it, it wasn't, the seals were still fine. It was still good because I took care of it. And so if you're going to buy the 1122, and this is where Obsessed Garage Retail, the website was born, was because of this guy. This was the very first product outside of T-shirts that I launched. And we've made it really simple. And it's come a long way since the beginning. In the beginning, I had like 9 inches of different fittings and adapters to sort of put a Mosmetic swivel in place. But if you do the OG gun, and wand, you get, and if you do the ultimate package, you get the Swiss fittings, which are incredible. I have yet, I'm sure we've had some, but I've yet to have any of these fittings fail. You know, there versus like the Chinese stuff, the MTM stuff that we've been using for a really long time. There was all kinds of problems and controversies of fittings and O-rings and stuff like that. So these guys, I mean, almost always, I mean, I'm sure that there's some people that have messed them up, but they're just incredible. Now, hopefully, I probably shouldn't say this, Nick, during Black Friday, but there is a massive 35% Swiss tariff. And so hopefully that tariff gets dropped, but the packages, the guns and everything are a little bit more expensive. But I think you want, if you're gonna buy the 1122, get the ultimate package. And then the nice thing about 1122s is that if you do move or you wanna do the custom install, these always have decent value. I mean, you'd probably sell it for 75% of what you paid for it used if you take care of it. Put it in OG Marketplace, you can always sell it, and then your gun and wand and everything can then transition over to whatever the new package is. And I will tell you that this is the best pricing we've ever had on 1122s. We bought 1122s pre-German tariff, right? So we still have some stock left over. And so I think our retail price, because they lifted the map for Black Friday. And so our retail price is already lower. And then we're running it at 15% off. Is that for everybody or is that Hex Plus? 10% off for everybody, 15% off for Hex Plus.
Yes. Yeah, so it's about $300 cheaper than you can get it anywhere else right now. Or, excuse me, $200 cheaper. Nope. Yeah, $200 cheaper than you can get it anywhere else right now. And then it stacks with the 10% from everybody, 15 for Hex Plus. So it's, you almost couldn't buy it used for as cheap as we're selling a new one.
Yeah, and so I mean, if you're kind of on that fence of an on-wall or the portable version, there's still, most people can't mount it to their wall. That's a big project. You're mounting a 50-pound brick to the wall, and you got to have the right studs, and you got to have the right weight capacity shelf, and you got to do the jumper hose, and you got to do a bunch of stuff. A hose reel becomes quite a bit more expensive. So if you do the cart model with the hose and hose reel and everything's integrated, it's still the best and simplest option. And then, Krenzla, you're going to have this thing for 25 years if you take care of it. Change the seals every 5 years if you're just using it like I would to wash your car. And just, again, take care of the darn thing and, clean it up after every use. You're going to be in good shape. So 1122, we have, I think, 72 of them. We also have these in Canada, by the way. So they're in Canada as well. There's a Canadian currency adjustment, but I think we have the same story up there in Canada, Nick, do you know?
Yep. Yeah, same deal in Canada. Yeah,
so these are in stock, available in our Canadian. So when you log in, it'll geofence you and know where you're at. And so this we actually have in Canada, in stock, ready to ship. We have guns and wands and foam cannons, and the pressure washer packages available in Canada on Black Friday. I don't think we have Hex set up for Canada yet.
Yeah, I'm unsure of that.
I don't think so. So next thing on top deals, let's talk about Sonic a little bit, because this is a big deal this year as well, for us anyway. I mean, I know people scoff at the deals here because they're not 50% off, but Sonic MSS Plus has never been on sale. It's been price fixed. With us now being the exclusive North American distributor for consumer for Sonic, we talked them into letting us offer during Black Friday only 10% off. This is where you're going to want to hit up the design guys to help lay out your cabinet array. And then if you buy $2,000 of tools, let me see if I can figure out how this works. So $2,000 of tools are in your cart. You get 10% off cabinets and 20% off all the tools.
Yeah, but you have to have the tools in your cart to get either one of those.
Right. And so if you're going to buy an MSS Plus array, you're going to save, probably $2,000. So it's going to be, you're going to get tools for free essentially. And so, what most people are going to want to do that are buying at that level, you're going to buy a, $30,000 array of cabinets. You're going to buy $20,000 worth of tools, and you're going to save $4,000 on the tools and $3,000 on the cabinets. So you're going to save $5,000 on your setup, you know. So Sonic MSS not on sale. Sonic MSS is in the room back here. Technically, it doesn't exist yet. So we'll be talking about it at the end of Black Friday. So Sonic MSS is coming. So it wasn't here in time for the sale. Come on in.
We're doing a little live.
You can come in. You can come in this way. You buying some good stuff today? Are we going to do your garage?
You can come in there.
Come on in.
You're good.
Yeah, we're doing this in the front door. Are you doing all right?
Spending 28,000 today.
Nice. You just told the whole world.
Spending 28,000 today.
See, this is good.
5 more.
And we're doing his garage, and he's going to be our one of our test cases for installation here in the villages. And then Quick Jacks, we're able to match the Quick Jacks deal. I do have, Nick brought this up front, I have the 3500 SLX that doesn't fit most cars. It's really small. It's really designed, it's the portable version designed to take to the track. So do some research, but if you want a sweet deal on this, this was an open box one. This is the one I used for the video and photos. So let's say, I think they're selling, so 15% off. What did I say this was, 1,500 bucks? I think, let's say $1,000 shipped right now, if you want this. Because it's going to be hard to sell because it only fits certain cars. It's not long enough to fit a lot of wheelbases. Newsbaum. So lots of Newsbaum content coming. We got the 2 posts, which you guys saw the video of the 2 posts going in. The Wabas and Mike right now are back there setting up the Jumbo 9000. And then we'll probably shoot some video of the install of Mike's Jumbo 7000. They're all made in Germany now, and they're incredible. And they are up to 14% off. What does that mean? So, because Newsbaum doesn't have great margin. But if you're going to buy a Newsbaum lift, I hate this because what happens is everybody who's going to buy a Newsbaum lift in the next 6 months will buy it now, and then I don't make any money. So they're going to buy it all now and front load it. But, you know, this is what you got to do. Catch the money when it's in motion. That's something my ex-mentor had taught me. Catch the money when it's in motion. 20% off Swiss Tracks, 10% off most of the Pro Slat cabinets as well. Pro Slat's a great option, and slat wall as well. So I think certain slat walls are on 10% off. And then Viper chair and accessories. I actually have a video coming up where I'll be doing Viper chair everything. Because what I want to do is I want to kind of think through my Viper chair, like the Matt Mormon or the Obsessed Garage Viper chair version. I can just stop referring to myself. Now with the Matt Mormon channel, it's kind of weird. I'm referring to myself in that third person. That sounds very, very pompous. Doesn't feel comfortable to me. But I want to make my own versions. And you know what I want to do, Nick? I want to make. I thought about this. I don't know that there's an issue with water anyway, but I want to make water specific, like ones you just hose it off. So all stainless hardware, because right now they do zinc, which should be fine with water, but I want to do like 3/16 stainless hardware. And then I want to do it where the seat is all sealed, because it is wood underneath. Or maybe the base of the seat is like a plastic or a starboard or something like that. So I've been thinking about this because the other day I hosed mine off and then I wanted to wipe it off quickly because I don't end up with any rusting or anything like that. And so I'm thinking a ceramic coated, fully sealed,
fully submergible Viper chair.
Yeah, like a full IP65 rated, rust-free Viper chair of some sort.
It could be like the true car washing chair, basically.
Yeah.
Detailing, because
I have a fear though that that's going to be $1,800. So anyway, what I'm working toward here is get you to the buyer's guide, right? So scroll all the way down on the Black Friday's page, and you click on the buyer's guide, and you see the different, gift ideas. In the top left, the switch tracks, and then what we're working on. Let me move this out of the way here. We're working on educating you on how to get started with tools, and there's two ways to do that. One would be sonic foam, and the other way to do it would be bespoke. And so we've kind of narrowed this down, or we've started to narrow this down to the various, these different tool packages. So we have these in the store. We have these largely in stock. If it's not, we'll have it coming. But we have wrench sets, and we have screwdriver sets. We have plier sets. The coolest freaking thing you need to buy is the darn denibber kit. Do we have denibber kits? I bet we do. I hope we do. Yes. Yeah, so the denibber kit. So this is like gift number one. This will be your favorite gift from Christmas, I think, if you're a crazy person. Just imagine, you get this and the whole family's at the house, and you open this up because your aunt bought you the denibber kit. And then everybody in the house is like, what in the world is that for? And you say, well, those little fuzzy things on your tires, that this is a kit that this crazy guy on YouTube suggests that I buy that helps remove the nibs. And it's like $100, or what is it, $90 or something like that. $86 yeah, but it's on sale, and it's amazing, and it'll change your life, and it'll make you. It's a microcosm. Nibs are a microcosm of the buttoned upness of your existence in this world. So you want that for sure. You want some tool grid as well. But we have the various, Weira screwdriver kits. So base kit, strike through set, long reach set. We also have a bit set. And so those are all up in the store and available for you to buy. The micros are still waiting on some stock, so I don't think the micro is live yet. And then we have the denibber kit. I've got the plier set, like the base plier set, the needle nose set. These, man, look at how good these freaking things are, man. I always opt for the stainless when they have a stainless option. And then the dike set, so the cutter set, which is a set of 4. And so what the concept here was, and I've made some videos on this, but the concept was to narrow down, take my tool set at my house, which is like $70,000 worth of tools, retail, and then narrowed it down to like just the essentials. Like where would I start? What would I get if I was starting out and I just wanted to start, adding bespoke high-end tools? Where would I start and how would I get there? And so Tommy, Nick, and I kind of sat down and we went through my drawers and kind of opened it all up and said, which one, what would you need to get started? And then same thing with wrenches. So we have SAE, we have regular wrenches, ratcheting wrenches, stubby wrenches, and these really sick. These gear wrench are super sick. These long reach ones that are 120 tooth on the flexible end. This would be a great gift to get. This package in SAE and metric, pretty sick. And then eventually we'll have it set up to where you'll be able to sort of tool grid, buy the tool grid packages. Tool grid is also on sale too. So that's something I think you might want to consider. So let's talk about audio. I talked about this on the Matt Lorman channel on Tuesday. This package here, what I wanted to do with garage audio is one, the garage is not a great listening environment. It's generally pretty harsh. You generally have harsh surfaces, generally lots of echo. But I think you can do a great system. You can get great sound with the right stuff. And so with the right speakers and the right equipment, and I want to keep it simple. What I want to be able to do is take out my phone, and I use Tidal. So let's see if we can, let's make sure I'm in focus here, Nick. But let me show them how I do this. So let's say I wanted to listen to Daft Punk, right? And so I didn't do anything here. I just I didn't preset up my phone. So let's not make a liar out of me. And I click my AirPlay Bluetooth, and there's my system, advanced system right there. Boom. That's this system right here, which I named it Advanced System. Super user friendly. You can name your system whatever you want when you set it up. And so the way that this Advanced System is structured is I have 2 speakers and a subwoofer. So the subwoofer is down in the corner, which you can't see, but it's a little, I think it's a 12-inch on the SB2000, which actually hits pretty hard. SB2000, 2 LYD8s, the isoacoustic stand, so you can put them either on your countertop or on the top of your cabinet, so you sort of decouple the speakers. Notice I have mine angled down a little bit. I have it about 4 degrees negative, so it's pointing toward the listening position. And then I have a Blue Sound node, and then it's 3 cables. So 3 cables, 3 XLRs that would come in the package. And so that system, and it's like this in pretty much every single system we have set up, that system will then communicate and work with all of the rest of your house, where if you have the Blue Sound stuff. And the nice thing about this system also is you can direct calibrate. He can come in if he needs to. Or is he looking for?
Go and talk to John.
Oh, okay. Oh, John's right there. So the advanced system, what did we say the advanced system was? It was... it's
about $3,300.
Yeah, 30 something, $3,000 or something like that. So you can save a bunch of money on this. So to me, when you're doing audio, you start with pulse, right? So the little pulse, pulse M from Blue Sound. You can start with 1. And you can put them in a stereo pair if you want. So make them a left and right. So that's where you would start. So that's about $800. And that will it'll create some background music for you in the garage, but it won't have a lot of impact, right? It'll sound decent. I have one in my kitchen at my house, but it's not gonna, have any impact. And then to me, the basic system, if you can pan over here, Nick. So this is the basic system. Now, missing the isoacoustics. It does come with isoacoustics. But you have Blue Sound Edge, Power Node Edge. So it's a little amplifier. You have the passive PSB P5s. And then we actually put the subwoofer on top here. It's a 10-inch SB 1000 sealed. And this system rocks. It sounds great. So this will actually have some bass you can feel, some impact. And then as you go up the line, Advanced has more output, a little bit more controlled, a little bit better sounding. And then you go Ultimate. The Ultimate system is LYD 48, so the horizontals. I'll actually be making a video here soon. I'm going to take the Ultimate system and put it in Middleton, because that garage is a lot smaller. And then the Obsessed system. This is the way you save the most amount of money, Nick. Did you know this? If you spend more, you save more. And so if you bought the Obsessed version of the audio system, which is Core 59s, a single core sub, Node Icon, and you'd have like a friggin' amazing experience. And you can use it anywhere.
You'd save about $1,200.
Yeah, right. You got to spend to save, You got to spend to save. Let's see, Michael Stevens is coming tonight. You're going to want to come in and listen to the home theater. The home theater live stream is going to be cool. We're going to talk about all that stuff.
We do have a couple questions if you want to just run through those real quick.
Sure.
First one is about some cabinets. So he says, looking at cabinets, ProSlat versus Sonic Next MSS. I have a 160-inch length on the wall to work with.
So Sonic's going to be about 25% less. On ProSlat, you have 400-pound drawer glides and about 250-pound capacity. The drawers can't hold. The drawer glides are more stout than the drawers. You have in ProSlat, you have the single 40-inch wide option. The thing I like much more about the Sonic MSS, just from a function perspective, they have they're a 9 drawer instead of, what is it, a 5 drawer. I just don't love that lower drawer. It takes up so much space on the Pro Slat. Like, I wish that drawer was like half the size. Like, they made that two drawers. The fit and finish of the Sonic is going to be far superior. Like, the edges are, the powder coating's better. The edges are squarer, but it's also 4 inches shallower, right? So you're getting, if you have the depth in your garage, Pro Slat's going to hold more stuff, and it's going to hold more stuff with more weight, and it's going to have more sort of usable space because it's going to be deeper. Pro Slat also has an advantage in that they have the uppers, right? You can put the upper on top. So if you're like trying to maximize storage, the Pro Slat's gonna have more capacity. But from the look, if you're looking, if the style, the look, the fit, the finish, the function of the drawers, I would pick MSS, and it's 25% less. To put it into perspective, when I did a price comparison, the MSS largest array, which was 26 or 24 feet. So I modeled this after what I would have put in the Middleton house. My Russo array of these blue cabinets was 31 grand. The MSS Plus was about 30 grand. It was like 29 and change. Pro Slats was 21, and the Sonic was 16. And so it was a significant, difference. Also, Sonic's going to be a lot cheaper to ship, depending on where you're at, because Pro Slat's going to come from Canada, and so your shipping cost is going to be probably 25 or 30% less. But so it's going to cost less. It's going to look a little bit cooler, but Pro Slat you can get different colors. Sonic you only get that one color. So that to me are the pros and cons. The green, let me see how it shows up for you on camera here. The greenish is more of a gunmetal, so it's not as green as you're thinking. Like in person, like here's a drawer for the cabinets that don't exist. So it matches perfect. Like it is a perfect complement to slate gray flooring. Like it is an incredible combination. So don't think like in person. I know on my camera, just the way that the color science on the Canon camera or the I guess the DJI looked. It looked a little greener than it actually looks in person. It looks very subtle. It's very gunmetal looking.
It's like a graphite color.
Yeah. It's amazing. So hope that helps. We will launch the product. So we'll launch MSS in December 3rd, I believe.
So this upcoming Wednesday. Yeah, that's the go live.
Is when it goes live, and then you can reach out to design and start actually, you won't even need to reach out to design for a lot of it. You just pick the array you want. You can reach out to design if you want them to render and model it for your garage. But the price difference is mitigated some by Pro Slat being on sale. But if you want a different color, if you want maximum storage, Pro Slat would be the way to go. If you want the best look, fit, finish, if you have a shallower garage and you want to save some money, then you would do MSS. Hope that helps. Other questions?
We've got one more, not really a specific question, but we'll ask this and then we'll sprint through everything else up there. We're wrapping this up at 1. So we're having you're all good. We're having a little bit of a mutiny in the chat about OG UK. People in Europe are really eager. So anything you can share about that?
I flew to Finland to, go visit Mirka, and I freaking hated every millisecond of it. I don't like it. And then if I open up a UK facility, I'd have to be there. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for a partner, in the English-speaking countries, and then negotiate like a royalty. So they would sort of emulate the Obsessed Garage website. I may even end up doing the same thing in Canada. So Canada, Australia, UK, EU, and have a partner. The partner buys all the, they buy the stuff. So don't get too excited. Don't freaking send me emails. The email I always get is, hey Matt, I got a great idea. You pay for everything and then pay me to do nothing, to ship out the stuff. I said, well, and give me half the money, right? And that takes none of the risk off my plate, where I pay the lease, I incorporate, I buy all the inventory, and then I give you half the money. That doesn't really work for me. So instead, what I'm going to look for is a partner who knows how to distribute, who knows how to sell, who knows how to operate an e-commerce website. They build the website. They build and emulate all the products at OG, that make sense in that country, and then just pay me like a royalty of like 10% or 5%, or we'll come up with something. Mark Perch in Australia and I have been talking about a structure that way. And that way, it's because the issue I've had with trying to do it is the capacity to be able to execute. And so I'd love to be in the UK and love to be able to provide the same sort of service, but I'm going to need a partner that has the expertise, and I'll find someone. I'm probably, a little ways away from doing that, but I'm going to look for a partner that can do it. Actually, it's not a partner. It's somebody do it and then pay me to tell you what to do. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing, which would be a little bit different.
That's all we got for questions. So if you just want to run through what we got out here, it's sort of just a collection of what we think people should be shopping. Stock is healthy on all this.
Bucket packages, we're selling tons and tons and tons of bucket packages. We have them ready to go in stock. Bucket packages are freaking awesome. 6-gallon bucket, gamma sealed, detailed guards inside, 3-inch casters. I've taken a lot of heat over the years, but we've sold like 10,000 bucket packages. So I say, my middle fingers are up. They're just in my pockets of all the haters. I mean, we make like a 35% margin on it. So it's not like you can get buckets, I can't believe it's $300. Well, it's not $300. It's $300 less 10% or 15%. And shipping on this is like $60. It's insane because it's a giant box. Solo sprayers are pretty sick. I think you want two of these. I like having two. One for iron remover, for when I'm feeling lazy, and one for waterless, rinseless wash. Waterless. Squeezers, Nick, good news. Just went and checked it. The even built Hamber touchless doesn't seep through the bottle like I was talking. So all products, I've had them sitting in the back there for 2 weeks now. All products that you would put in this, Decon soap, GFX, which we have in stock, Christmas, get some GFX. Limited time only sells in 1 liter. GFX, Reset, and touchless, because touchless like eats through its own darn bottle. And so it's been sitting there for 2 weeks, not a hint of sweating through the bottle. And so these squeezers are freaking great. It's the first Press-All product we got with no side effects, right? No side, it's just perfect. The only problem is you can't, I put a label on one to see how it holds up. The labels won't hold up very well because it's LDPE, so it's super pliable, but these are freaking awesome. GFX, I just mentioned, we have traceless in stock. What I think you want to do, I need to do this because I keep running out and don't replace it. I want 5 of these in my house, Nick. And we just talked about a way, so you want the Pro Series Press-All bottle and sprayer. You can only buy it as a bottle and sprayer, right? I don't think we sell the bottles alone. So you want the fluorinated new bottle with the heavy-duty glass cleaner label. And then you want to take that head off, put it aside. You may need it for, if a head fails on something else, some other product in the future. Buy the Doorbuster blue head. And I think after Black Friday, we should take this off a doorbuster because we're going to need to order some more of them, Nick. And so you're going to take the blue head and you're going to put it on top of the fluorinated bottle. You're going to buy a metal tip, and then you theoretically should have a bulletproof, traceless spray head. Now, Matt Rutledge had a theory, and I think his theory is probably right. There's lots of people who say, look, I use traceless every single day in my Pro Series press-all, it's fine. What we think is happening is the super high alcohol content, the seals are different and better for alkaline stuff in the Pro Series. But the previous version, the previous household and industrial sprayers, they don't have that same seal. So that seal works better in the Pro Series for alkalinity, but not so much alcohol. And so if you're using it all the time, the seals stay lubricated, they stay wet, they don't dry out from the alcohol content. And so if you're using it every day or using it, several times a week, I think that the Pro Series will be fine. But if you're like me and it'll sometimes sit there for 2 weeks and I don't touch it, it's then eventually eats through the seals and jacks up the bottle. But I want 5 of these. I want 1 in my garage, 1 under my sink in the kitchen. I want 1 in my office. I want 1 in my bathroom. And then I want 1 in my laundry room. So I got 5 of these bottles, 5 liters, and then I buy the 5 liter to replenish. And we do have a gallon or a 5 liter spout that we sell for these as well if you want to buy that. And of course, touchless. If you want to try out touchless, buy the 1 liter, but otherwise don't buy the 1 liter, buy the 5 liters because you're going to freaking rifle through this because it's incredible. I never want to wash a car without it ever again. So this is your rinse or your touchless. It's not touchless, it's touchless. So you would touch your car less by using this. This is the gift. Just mark this. Send this to everybody you know that have them buy you the $600 2.5 amp hour battery kit. How much is the 2.5 amp hour battery kit? Can you look that up for us? But you want the Mirka because
the 2.5 amp hour kit is $964.
oh yeah, I was way off.
But you can get the 15% on it.
Yeah. But this is the gift you want everybody to give you. And it's amazing. And man, I haven't seen a new one in a while. Mine, I have my original one that's gotten freaking a couple thousand hours on that sucker. Maybe not, that's exaggerating. You get hundreds of hours on it. 100 of an hour. yeah, it has a lot of hours on it. And it polished the red, single stage E30 that I did. So you want that. I saw Ted rolling pallets of this stuff around. So the T4500 is, I think, currently the best cordless polisher, and it's freaking cheap. It's $470 retail, and then you're gonna get a deal on it. But the T4500 now comes with the batteries. This thing's freaking awesome from Liquid Elements, and we still have some in stock, right? We should have a bunch of them.
Yeah, we have 192 of them. So we sold 80 in the last couple days.
Okay.
So they're going really quick, which is great for us. But yeah, if you're waiting on one of these, it's probably a good idea to go and get that right now.
Yeah. But that puts it into perspective. We're not selling 8,000 of them. We're selling 100 of them. I think some people think that there's just a money tree growing here or something. So those are the doorbuster things that I think you'd want to consider, or not doorbuster, the gift ideas that I think you'd want to consider. I'm up against my time here because we're going to prep for the next Wash and Talk. So make sure, go to the Matt Mormon channel, subscribe. Let's get me to 10,000 subscribers. That'd be fun. And we're going to do a live Wash and Talk. We're going to have to move some cars around, and we're going to wash Mike's Forerunner, which will get all you Toyota nerds all excited. So we're going to wash that. I said I don't have anything dirty here, and I didn't want to wash Nick's car because it's not coated. And
among other
Bryce
reasons.
is trying to get me to wash his Ranger Raptor, but it's not coated. I don't want to do that. So we're going to create a really awesome screenshot gift guide that you could give to somebody and say, hey, go add all these items to my cart and buy everything. That'd be a sweet deal. That's something you get your wife to buy you, you know. If you're new here and you're just kind of starting out and you're like, man, I want to start washing my car the way that Matt does, we're going to tell you everything you need to get to at least get started. So, and of course, all the packages, detailing package, all that stuff, you know, that makes it easier for you if you want to just do everything all in one shot. So anyway, thanks for all the support. Status update here today. Where are we at? Let's see.
While you look that up, I'm going to pop on the screen just real quick in the corner here. If you guys want to watch any of the other streams, most of them are going to be on the Matt Mormon channel. The next stream that's going to be on the main channel is Monday, same time as this one was. The next stream is at 2 p.m. and it'll be Wash and Talk on the Matt Mormon channel. We have an email going out about it as well.
This is the most I've ever seen. We have 418 people on our website right now. I've never seen that before. We're at 166,000 today. That's pretty sweet. Now, last year we did like 700,000 on Black Friday. We won't do that today because we spread it out. You know, it was open yesterday and the day before. But that's pretty freaking cool. You know, our goal was to do 18 million, today. But I think we're going to end up with doing 2 or 3. So.
Oh, you're saying 18 million for the year?
No, 18 million for the day. You know, just Black Friday. That's my goal. Yeah, but I think we're going to fall short of that. So I was kind of hoping to, to get a bunch of money, but we'll have enough to survive. That's all you need anyway, right? So anyway, I'll see you over at Matt Mormon in an hour.